updates. You know, our Gorillas just played last night, right? Do you have updates on that, Paul?
Yeah, I wish I didn't have to bring this update in particular, but yes, the Indonesian national football team dropped one against Vietnam away on the road in their AFF Cup match, which now puts them at 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 loss. However, Vietnam and the Philippines do have a game in hand. We'll cover some of the highlights and results from that match as well. Also, from the world of football, we've got some of the latest weekend updates from the English Premier League. Yes, a big derby took place in Manchester. Well, can you guess if it was red or blue this weekend? We will tell you after the break. And speaking of football, we've also got some of the latest updates from the weekend from the Bundesliga. And speaking of tournament action, we've got the NBA Cup, who is in its semifinal stage this weekend. The finals have been decided. It will be the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. We'll cover and preview some of the results from Las Vegas as well. All that and more when we return here on the C Morning Show. Stay tuned. Your weekend sports roundup is coming up next.
Isu-isu sustainability ini dalam konteks bagaimana kita peduli kepada bumi,
bagaimana mengelola yang terbuang dapat menjadi manfaat.
Salah satu upaya saya untuk mencintai alam dan merawat bumi. Kita membuat si tanaman nyaman seperti habitat aslinya.
Kita sangat percaya bahwa ini harus menjadi awareness dan harus dilakukan oleh setiap orang.
Solar ini dari Indonesia, khususnya dari Sulawesi Selatan dan Tenggara, terus dari Maluku sampai ke Raja Ampat, Papua.
Untuk mama sendiri atau Polypterus ini dia itu cukup hardy sih. Jadi untuk range airnya sendiri bisa toleransi agak jauh. Jadi mungkin beberapa ikan cuma bisa di pH basah atau cuma bisa di pH asam. Dia bisa di pH sekitar 5 sampai 8 itu dia masih oke.
Di sini saya pikir wah ternyata kami bisa merasa nyaman dengan hunian tradisional itu yang tidak perlu AC.
Sebenarnya karena kita di negara tropis gitu ya, maka rumah ini pasti otomatis harus arsitekturnya juga tropis gitu ya.
Fungsi hunian itu bagi saya adalah tempat kita ingin kembali, dimana di dalam rumah itu kita merasakan nyaman, merasakan bahagia, mungkin dari sekarang hingga sampai kita tua nanti.
We have the latest global economy and business trends.
U.S. Federal Reserve on Thursday slashed interest rates by 25 basis points.
And astute analyses from experts on the current economic dynamics.
We see right here the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped to 159.
Tune in to See Today Business live at 12:30 p.m. every Monday to Thursday and at 1 p.m. on Fridays.
As the host of this year's summit, President of Brazil, President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, closed the Group of 20 or G20 summit on Tuesday and handed over the presidency to South Africa.
Depois da presidência sul-africana, todos os países do G20 terão exercido pelo menos uma vez a liderança do grupo. Será um momento propício para avaliar o papel que desempenhamos até agora e como devemos atuar daqui.
At first glance, we see their face like a cat and their body like a bear. We will get to know more about bearcat or what we usually know as binturong.
Awal tertarik karena saya melihat bebeknya itu kok warnanya unik, lucu gitu. Kalau dilihat itu lucu banget gitu.
Kalau boleh saya bilang itu unggas tercantik di dunia, Mas. Karena dia ketika mekar, bulunya cantik sekali.
Welcome back. You're still with us here on the C Morning Show. It is 6:30 in the a.m. and it's time for your first Monday morning sports update. We begin with some news in regards to Indonesian football as the Indonesian national football team fell to Vietnam 1-0 in their 2024 AFF Cup group stage match at the Viet Tri Stadium last night. The only goal came in the 77th minute from Win Quang Hai, who took advantage of a rebound off the crossbar. From the outset, Vietnam controlled the match, dominating possession and putting constant pressure on the Indonesian defense. Indonesia, who lined up in a 4-5-1 formation, held firm at the back line, but could not withstand the pressure in the second half. Nguyen's powerful left-foot shot beat goalkeeper Ari Cahya after a rebound. And with this loss, Indonesia now currently sits in second place in Group B with 4 points from 3 matches, while Vietnam stays atop of the group standings. Indonesia still has 1 match remaining, which is against the Philippines at home on December the 21st to secure a spot in the semifinals. And there has been rumors surrounding the possibility of 2 additional players joining the Indonesian squad for the remainder of the AFF tournament, especially should they make the semifinal rounds. Ivar Jenner as well being one of them. So we will keep you updated as to whether or not they will be allowed to leave their teams from their leagues, respective leagues, in order to join the national team. Let's move on now to other football news from Europe, as Bayern Munich lost a Bundesliga match for the first time in coach Vincent Kompany's tenure, paying the price for a couple of defensive errors. Meanwhile, champions Leverkusen cruised past Augsburg to climb into second place. With Harry Kane out injured, Bayern struggled to generate scoring chances as Lee Jae-sung gave Mainz a 2-goal lead. Leroy Sané scored on a rebound in the 87th minute to give Bayern a hope of a comeback. Kompany's team could not second goal. Bayern's lead was cut to 4 points ahead of last season's champion Bayer Leverkusen. And while Bayern had painful losses in the Champions League to Aston Villa and Barcelona, and was knocked out of the German Cup by Leverkusen last week, it seemed until now well on course to reclaim the Bundesliga title that was lost to Leverkusen last season. Bayern's defense was at fault for both goals, with the first coming from Kim Min-jae and the second from Joshua Kimmich, with both errors capitalized by the Mainz forwards. Mainz coach Bo Henriksen jumped for joy when the final whistle sealed a victory over Bayern, which beat his team 8-1 last season. And it has also secured its 23rd Bundesliga victory of 2024, its most ever in a single calendar year. Wirtz put the result beyond doubt, with the attacking midfielder now having directly been involved in each goal in each of his past 5 league appearances. Those are the updates from Germany. Let's now move on to some EPL updates, where Manchester United were heading for defeat at the Etihad when Ahmad was hauled down for a penalty before the winger struck a late winner in the space of just a few minutes against their fierce rivals. Meanwhile, Tottenham Hotspur ended a 5-match winless streak in ruthless style as they demolished Southampton 5-0 at St. Mary's Stadium.
Manchester City left with difficult truth after Man United smash and grab a win in blistering derby. United winger Amad Diallo inspired the sort of turnaround they will talk about for the years to come. From the brink of defeat, United conjured up an unforgettable victory. Amad seized an awful mistake by Matheus Nunes, to which Bruno Fernandes scored, and then the United winger rounded off with a sensational finish in the 90th minute to snatch victory. The harsh truth for City was that once United had equalized, the away side looked odds on to win. Such is the fragile confidence in Pep Guardiola's players. The incredible last-gap comeback from Manchester United, which pushed their bitter rivals into a full-blown crisis. Elsewhere, Tottenham were at their rampant best at the first half. That saw Ange Postecoglou's side destroy Southampton's with 5 goals in their Premier League clash. James Maddison was in fine form throughout as he scored 2 goals and was instrumental for the dominant visitors. Southampton spared their blushes to some extent in a lifeless second half, with Russell Martin now under enormous pressure. Spurs moved to within 4 points of 5th place Manchester City with the victory, while Southampton remained rooted to the foot of the table, 9 points adrift of safety. Meanwhile, Chelsea moved within a touching distance of Premier League leaders Liverpool with the narrow victory over Brentford at Stamford Bridge. Marc Cucurella's first half set them on way Brentford, with the left back stealing into Noni Madueke's curling delivery on the right wing. Nicolas Jackson to Enzo Fernandez to discuss a low pass between goalkeeper Mark Flacken into the right corner for the second goal. Enzo Maresca's side now sits second in the table, 2 points behind the Reds, who have advantage of having a plate less.
All right, well, great win for Manchester United. Both Pep Guardiola and Ruben Amorim named surprising team for this derby, with both Rashford and Garnacho both left out of the United squad, causing huge headlines. But for the Red Devils, it actually paid big dividends. Now, there'll be more bumps down the road for sure, but right now, Ruben is playing the building of a monstrous club the right way, and has a captain who is backing him both on the field and off. Yes, Bruno Fernandes missed a would-be equalizer before seeing a chance from the spot, but he's also doing that's in a way United and the fans can appreciate. For years, we've heard that Fernandes sound right notes about the size of United and the expectations of him wearing that jersey, but it's ended up feeling a bit like lip service as United's players and coaches both. Fernandes about ability and going game by game, it's actually ringing true coming off Amorim's big decisions, such as I mentioned, Lee Rashford and Garnacho out of Bruno spoke our interviews on both times made to mention that Diallo must reach his potential to do it every game, once with Diallo standing next to him and about to collect his man of the match fee. And that United probably remember from the Alex Ferguson days, and maybe Amorim has the Red Devils back on track to perhaps get them where they used to be. We will now turn our attention from football to basketball. The NBA Cup semifinal act took place in Las Vegas this past weekend, and Giannis Antetokounmpo tallied a huge double-double, almost a triple-double, 30 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, to lead the Milwaukee Bucks to the NBA Cup final with a win over the Atlanta Hawks on Saturday. Giannis Antetokounmpo had 32 points and was just 1 assist shy of a triple-double, while Damian Lillard at 25 as he beat the Hawks 110-102 on Saturday to earn a spot in the NBA Cup championship game. On the ball, rebound blocks, 11 all-time in NBA Cup games. The only loss coming in the last year's semifinals. Meanwhile, Brook Lopez, also from Milwaukee, was traded 35 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds for the Hawks, who got 15 points and 10 rebounds from Jalen Johnson, and another 15 points from DeAndre. Milwaukee shot 39 of 86 from the field for the game, making 14 of its 45 attempts from three-point range. They outscored the Hawks 22-15 on fast-paced points and had a 47-44 rebounding edge.
What matters here is that you got to get the job done. I think, the rotation seems that nothing matters, only win. Stats don't matter. It doesn't add a win or a loss to our record. Nothing really matters. How many shots? If you go 0 for 15, if you go 15 for 15, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters right here is to get a win, and that's the message in our team. And everybody got a team.
Well, this was more exciting of the two games that took place in the semifinals, and on a night where the Bucks were often unable to run effective offense due to the physical and relentless defense. Trae Young, by the way, Antetokounmpo was able to make timely play after play to bail them out. Now, whether it was an attack to the rim, a lob to Brook Lopez, or even a fadeaway jumper, he pretty much did it all. Now, on the defensive end, Giannis was massive in this. He had trade block on Capella, but he also had some big possessions, staying with Young on switches, as well as hitting the floor for some loose loose balls. Now, Damian Lillard also hit some crucial buckets down the stretch, but this is not one of his games. They had the night 8 of 20, 5-13 on threes. However, he made up for those shooting struggles by setting up his teammates and rebounding the ball, ending up as a +5 in 37 minutes of action. Meanwhile, Dyson Daniels, who is